Hey guys, so I am going to finally cover this issue on Global Dokkan. I'm sure most of you are aware of what's happening at this point because of the fact that it's been such a big part of what's been going on, in the community for the past, week or so of the banner being out. But if you guys weren't aware, this current Step Up banner, the New Year's Dokkan Festival banner, there was an error where we'll take a look at the news in a second as well because there's actually an official response about it as well. But on Step 5, the only place you were able to obtain LRUI Goku, just to keep it very short and sweet, was the guaranteed slot. So the 10th slot of the multi-summon on Step 5. That was the only place you could actually get him. Whereas you were supposed to be able to obtain him on any other, slot on any other multi besides the guaranteed for any other step. So a lot of people were like, oh, is this intentional? Is this a mistake? And me personally, I have always thought this was a mistake because it doesn't make any sense for them to do that. And what ended up happening, we'll take a look at the actual news here. There's an official response. Regarding the New Year Dokkan Festival issue and reopenings, we'll go ahead and take a look here. Dear players, an issue was found within the available characters in the New Year's Dokkan Festival Step Up Summon and the New Year Dokkan Festival. So we'll go through this in a second, but I am somebody who doesn't really like to do multiple videos on one topic, so I was specifically waiting for this to be resolved officially by the game. So that's why I didn't really do 5 or 6 other videos on this, because I could have easily done that. But I wanted to wait for there to be an official resolution to this before I talked about it. I also want to give a shout out to Kuwa, one of the French data miners over on. He's mostly active on Twitter from what I've seen. But he actually reached out to me. He's like, hey, there's a big issue going on with the banner. I already knew about it at the time. I just didn't know what to do about it. He's like, hey, you should spread awareness for this. I said, yeah, sure, I'll help out. So me, I know Truth helped out a lot too, and him were very vocal about it on Twitter. We got people involved. I personally reached out to some people via email who have connections to the actual development team, and they knew about the issue, and they assured me that they were looking into it. So I said, okay, I will wait. They knew what was going on. It wasn't like they were out to screw the players. That's not what their intention is. So had that going on, and eventually things worked out. So I'm happy about it. But just for the details of what actually was happening, so we go during the duration of the issues. Quiet Grit Goku, so that is the SSR of LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, was available for summon instead of Warrior Beyond Limits and Expectations, Super Saiyan God Goku in certain steps, who obviously is the SSR of LRUI Goku. So the way that is the most simple that I can explain this problem is that in every step that wasn't 5, well, I guess even in step 5, slots 1 through 9, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku SSR was swapped somehow in the database with the SSR for LRUI Goku. And that meant that he was literally unobtainable in all those steps. So if you're somebody who pulled the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku in steps 1 through 5, that was not the guaranteed slot in step 5, that means you technically should have pulled LRUI Goku. Because that character slot was supposed to be LRUI Goku and not Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then it says, affected areas, the first to 9th character of the summons performed in each step in round 1 to round 3 of the New Year Dokkan Festival Step Up Summon. The New Year Dokkan Festival, which became available after performing 3 rounds of the Step Up Summon. So that's basically what that is once you complete all 3 rotations of the Step Up banner, the banner turns into a normal banner. And even in that iteration of the banner, UI Goku was still not obtainable. He was still swapped with the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, as it states right here. So the issue has now been fixed, and the following measures will be taken. Measures to be taken. So there's 3 steps here. Number 1. For players who had performed summons in the New Year Dokkan Festival Step Up Summon and the New Year Dokkan Festival during the duration of this issue, all the Dragon Stones consumed in the aforementioned summon events will be returned. You will keep the characters you recruited, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this is very similar to the whole situation on JP that happened during the, I think it was the STR Rose Goku Black banner, which I think the problem with that was they had the Dokkan Awakened art of Tech. Oop, there's a low battery. I can't charge my phone. There was the art of the Dokkan Awakened Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly's art on the banner instead of the pre-Dokkan Awakened. So I guess technically the reason why that was such a big issue is because you can't pull the Dokkan Awakened version of that Broly. So it was some false advertising pretenses going on there. But they did a full stone refund for that issue, and this is pretty much, honestly, I would argue this is way worse than that, because this actually affected the rates that you could pull a character, because technically, I guess God Goku, or not God Goku, yeah, well, God Goku, aka the SSR of the UI, LRUI Goku, was not specifically stated to be, you know, available in those steps, but it's still like nobody's going through manually looking at the scouter to see who's available. And they shouldn't, like, the reason why I knew it was probably a mistake is because the game should not set up a pretense where you're expected to go and look through the rates of every single character every time a banner releases. Like, that's just, the developers want you to be able to trust them to a certain degree, right? It's not like they're going to be goody-goody two-shoes or whatever, but you should be able to trust the developers of the game to actually do, like, quasi-right the stuff for you, for the player base. So that's number one. Number two, all players will receive 10 Dragon Stones for this issue. So even for people who didn't summon on the banner, like me, I did not need anything on the banner, so I didn't summon on there. So I'm not getting any refunds for anything because I didn't spend anything on the banner, but I'm still getting 10 stones, which is good. I think one of the bigger issues that people have been talking about was like, oh, JP got 300 stones for whatever issue happened with Kefla and Super Vegito banners. Where's like our major compensation for this? And all I'll say is this was definitely not as big as that issue, first of all. And second of all, like, if you didn't summon on the banner, then what's the problem? Like, you don't receive, you don't deserve compensation for something that doesn't affect you, right? So for me, I'm happy to even get 10 stones because I didn't summon on the banner because I didn't need anything, and I wasn't really affected by the problem because I didn't summon. But I'm still getting 10 stones out of just, like, you know, them giving us 10 stones for pretty much no reason at all, so I'll take it. And then number three, this is where I think, well, me personally, I feel like they could have done better on this one personally, but the summon event has been reopened along with the publication of this announcement. In addition, the event period has been extended to 14 whatever, so the 27th. I think it was originally the 25th. Players' progress in the step-up summon will not be reset. So that's saying that if you went through all the steps on the banner, so in total I think it was 200 per rotation, which means you're going to be spending 600 stones in total if you went through all the steps. So you're going to receive all those stones back, but the banner is not going to reset in terms of the steps that are available. I feel like they should have probably reset the steps, if I'm being honest. I think... So that's I guess that's half of the issue. The second half of the issue is... Because if you're somebody who pulled LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like on this banner during the first 3 rotations of the banner, or even after the banner was already a normal banner, let's say you go through all the steps and you pulled LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku on like the normal version of the banner too, that's like the worst feeling ever, because now you know that instead of LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, that should have been UI Goku. So I've seen people go as far as to say that everybody who pulled LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku prior to, you know, this issue being resolved should receive a copy of LR UI Goku swapped for their Super Saiyan 3 Goku that they got. I don't know if I would go that far, but I think at the very least, me personally, it would have made more sense if they actually reset the steps, because it is a much higher chance that, well, not really much higher, I guess, because technically it's the same rate, because he was available in the guaranteed LR step. But I feel like they could have reset the steps for everybody who went through whatever steps they went through, just to, you know, actually like fully do a clean reset of the banner itself. I think if I was in charge, I would have done that. I think everything else was handled perfectly, though. I think the refunds definitely were in order here. I'm a big proponent of that. I think, what was number 2? Yeah, 10 stones is definitely fine. I don't have an issue with that at all. Again, for people who weren't affected by the issue, they're receiving compensation for nothing, pretty much. Like me, I'm receiving compensation for nothing. Like I can show you right now my gift box. There's the 10 stones right there. I didn't receive any refunds or anything like that. So there's the 10 stones right there for nothing for me. Well, that's fine. And then step 3, I think I would have definitely done a full reset of the banner. So let everybody go through the steps again. You know, on the banner that's actually correct and not the banner that was incorrect. So that's pretty much all there is to this issue here. This is the full, complete resolution. This is, again, an unprecedented thing that has happened on Global Dokkan. I don't think Global Dokkan has ever received full stone refunds on a banner for anything ever in the past. So this is sort of like uncharted territory for Global. Pretty cool, I guess. I think Band at the end of the day did the right thing. Again, the only thing I would have added was to reset the steps, but that's it. I think they did a good job. Other than that, you guys can let me know down below what you think about the whole issue, if you would have done anything differently at all. But again, I think the community did a good job in voicing its issues with this specifically. We definitely spam them a lot, and I spam them on Twitter too. I was going to keep doing it if they didn't do anything. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one.